Today we are going to be making tomato and mint wine, which is perfect for summer. Make it now and enjoy it over summer. You will love this recipe and you will love the wine. So let's get on and make the tomato and mint wine. The first thing we need is 2.5 kilograms of lovely, plump, ripe, juicy tomatoes. The riper they are, the better, even to the point of them going slightly soft and squidgy. You want all that lovely sugar and softness within the plump flesh to come out into your wine. The first thing we need to do with your 2.5 kilos of tomatoes is quarter them. So get chopping and slice the tomatoes into lovely quarters. Once your lovely plump tomatoes have been quartered, you want to grab yourself a mesh bag and start putting all the chunks into the mesh bag. And into that bag with those lovely juicy tomatoes in, we want to be adding half a pint of fresh mint leaves. The mint really complements and works well with the tomatoes. The mint and the tomatoes work really well together and they bind the unique tomato flavour with the mint, and it is wow on the tongue. It's a party, it's lively, it's refreshing, it is adorable, this wine, if a wine can be adorable. So pour in your mint leaves into the tomatoes and then secure your bag with a nice little knot so nothing can escape. Grab yourself a clean fermentation bucket and plop your tomatoes and mint straight into your bucket. And now, this is when the really fun part happens. Grab yourself a potato masher or a rolling pin and take out all of your frustrations on the tomatoes. Mash them, squish them, get as much juice as you can out of them. Really beat them up inside the bucket. Brilliant fun. As you pound and pulverize those tomatoes, you're also breaking up the mint, and the mint is releasing the ever so minty aroma. The mesh bag keeps the majority of the pulp, the seeds and the skin of the tomatoes all together, so when we come to transfer the liquid into a demijohn, all the seeds and skin and flesh of the tomatoes along with those minty leaves are contained and together, and it will help your wine clear faster. We also want to add the juice of 1 orange into the mix. So chop your orange in half and squeeze in the lovely juice to provide the citric acid and a bit of citrusy flavour into the wine. Into the bucket, we want to be pouring in 1.2 kilograms of granulated sugar. This should make a wine of about 13% if all goes to plan and the tomatoes release a lot of the sugar that they contain. So pour in 1.2 kilograms of granulated sugar and simply pour over 2 litres of boiling water and give the mix a really good stir. Get all that sugar dissolved and those tomatoes in that bag working away in the hot water. This wine is an epic wine for summer. If you make this wine in the late autumn, it will be ready for late spring, early summer, when you're looking forward to that light, refreshing, epic wine glass full of tasty stuff. What we need to do now is sprinkle in about a teaspoon's worth of pectolase, because the pectolase does help to preserve the colour and prevent a pectin haze from forming. And sprinkle in your favourite wine yeast. I'm using a rhubarb wine yeast by Cross My Loof. I really rate their yeasts and their hops as well. I'm going for a rhubarb wine yeast because it does help with the colour of all red fruit and vegetable wines like beetroot and tomato as well as rhubarb. So sprinkle in your favourite chosen wine yeast. And now we just need to put a lid on your bucket and set it aside in a warm place for 5 to 7 days so that those tomatoes can release all of their wonderful flavour and sugar into the wine. It'll become an epic party in your bucket with the yeast going through all that sugar and making alcohol. Then in 5 to 7 days, I'll be back and we'll continue this wonderful wine recipe. So until then, I'll see you in a moment. 5 days have passed. That bag of tomato and mint has been leaching out and given off a lovely colour, aroma and taste to your sugar syrup solution within your big fermentation bucket. What we need to do now is simply hoik out the bag containing the mint and tomato, get it ready for the composting. There is still a hiss and a fizz coming from the wine. I love that sound. And now it is simply a job of funneling in your infusion into a clean, sanitised, sterilised demijohn. Could not be easier. Grab yourself a clean demijohn, a funnel, and simply pour it straight in. And now swap your funnel for a clean airlock and set this aside in a warm place to carry on fermenting until it has reached dryness. Then you'll probably want to rat it off because it will throw a bit of sediment, and then once you've done that, put it into a cool place to carry on maturing and clearing and becoming divine and fantastic. And I really cannot do a taste test of this wine in due course. Of course, you don't have to use fresh tomatoes to make a wine. You can use tinned tomatoes or passata even, and they do create a wonderful, brilliant wine. And if you want to try them, check out these recipes over by here, and I'll see you really soon for another weird, wonderful, amazing, tasty wine recipe. You have a good day now. See you soon.